Oh my God. Oh my God, I am so glad that you are finally here, because for the past 2 weeks, I have been on a death march making every smoked mac and cheese out there, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, why do some people get good results, get a smooth texture, get good consistency, and other macaroni and cheeses just fall apart in the smoker. So today, we're gonna take some advice from the old favorite, from Luby's, the true masters, because as I was creating the recipe, I was thinking about macaroni and cheeses that could kind of sit and be like double cooked the way that it happens in the smoker. And I kept coming back to Luby's mac and cheese, sitting on that buffet for a while, every day, never degrading, always staying creamy, always staying perfect. So we're gonna base our sauce on Luby's sauce. It's fall, it's nice and crisp outside. I'm gonna be working in the garden and we're gonna whip up this smoked mac and cheese. Let's go. So when it comes to smoked mac and cheese, I tested this recipe about 6 times. There is 2 schools of thought on the sauces, and whether you like your mac and cheese is probably gonna come down to what sauce you used. You have the American cheese based sauces, which I'll talk more about later, and then you have the bechamel based sauces. Bechamel is a mother sauce. So you go to culinary school and you get the saucier class and they teach you all of these mother sauces, and one of them is bechamel. It's roux, which is gonna be like butter and flour, basically. Just get it all combined. You pour in your warm milk and it gets thick. So it's kind of a milk sauce. So people take a bunch of different cheeses and add them to their bechamel and they say, okay, this tastes so good, and it really does, and great. Here's the problem. When you try to cook it again or smoke it, which is basically cooking it again, bad things happen. It starts curdling. The flavors they don't pop. Like you'll be eating it and you'll be like, this tasted perfectly when I put it in, but now it needs salt. So that's really strange. Also, the pasta continues to absorb the water that was in the milk, so the pasta gets really floppy, okay? After the bechamel is done, you add the pasta, you can serve it at your restaurant. That's how it should be served. So putting it into a pan and cooking it is really cooking it for the second time. Now, if some of you make your smoked mac and cheese like that, all the power to you. I've tried it so many times that I just cannot. That is when we reach for things like American cheese. American cheese is the ultimate sauce making ingredient because it's kind of made for that. It's kind of made with the knowledge that bechamel has its limitations as far as reheating, serving long term on a buffet. American cheese is a cheese product. It melts almost into a liquid sauce. It does not require a roux, and it stays salty and flavorful. Now you're gonna say, but it doesn't do the string pull and it doesn't do the gratin on top. I know, and we're still gonna add some Mexi cheese or something to the top of our macaroni and cheese so we get a nice string pull in the gratin. We're gonna need a pound of American cheese, get it from the deli, and then we're gonna need a pound of pasta. This is kind of a personal choice. I know some really good barbecue restaurants use those little small shells. Some use the regular macaroni and cheese noodle. I like Cavatappi only because the ridges on the outside collect sauce, and the tube, it always gets sauce up in there. So the pasta to sauce ratio is much higher when you use something like Cavatappi pasta, and I just like a cheesy, saucy, sloppy mac and cheese. That's what I like. So I really like Cavatappi, but if you like something else, you'll only need a pound. All right, time to make some sauce. So I've just got the pasta cooking over here on the stove, according to the package directions, you know, a big pot of water, put a bunch of salt in there, boil your pasta, and then we're gonna put it into an aluminum pan like this. This is gonna get us ready. So when it comes to our sauce, the great thing with American cheese is that you don't have to build a roux, you don't have to get all fussy. So the first thing we're gonna do is add in our milk and our cream. We want it to get pretty hot, but we don't really need it to boil. We just want it to warm these ingredients so that we can melt the American cheese in. And it's gonna be 1.5 pounds of American cheese. So we'll wait till we see the first couple of little bubbles. That lets us know we're coming up to a simmer. And then we just want to turn the heat down because again, we're keeping it warm, keeping it hot, but not boiling. Smoked mac and cheese doesn't have as much smoke flavor as people think it's going to. Just like how Chef Coulion said, what I ended up doing was cold smoking all my cheeses and then making my cheese sauce with those cold smoked cheeses. So what I like to do is make the delicious, creamy, velvety American cheese-based sauce and then put stuff in it. You can put shredded bacon, you can put leftover brisket, pulled pork, little pieces of sausage, shrimp, anything to really doll it up. You can also use stuff like green chilies, cilantro. Ooh, here we go, getting the first couple of bubbles. Just gonna add some in. Again, I wish my cheese was shredded. I wish they had sent me a block of cheese, but I really like those delivery services. That helps me get through as much content as I have to keep this blog and channel going. So probably gonna need a whisk. And just like Velveeta, if you've ever used Velveeta, it's kind of gonna work the same way. American cheese is not Velveeta, that's a different thing. I love Velveeta too. I worked at a restaurant when I was much younger. This is before culinary school, before my whole career, where people loved our macaroni and cheese. It was a pasta restaurant called Macaroni Grill. This was back when it was really good because it got bad there for a while. People were like, "You guys have the best macaroni. It's on the kids' meal. My kids always get it." All it was Velveeta cheese and big shells. Okay, let's season this cheese sauce. So here it is. This is what it looks like. So it's just wonderfully scoopable and pourable. And we're going to season it. It's really good right now. I think we can make some enhancements, and you can make enhancements of your very own. So just as a basic, I've got some ground garlic and then some dry mustard. That's two of the classic things that go in bechamel if we were to make a mother sauce. It's not gonna make the cheese sauce taste like either of those things on their own. It's just gonna add depth to what is already there, which is building flavor is a lot of what really good cooking is. Instead of just having it be a roasted garlic cheese sauce, you wanna have a couple things in there. Nobody can really tell which each individual one is, but they all add just like a really magnificent, dynamic flavor together. So the other thing I'm gonna use is just a tiny bit of Worcestershire. Again, it's not supposed to taste like Worcestershire. And I always add a bit of Tabasco, purely optional. Another good thing about the Tabasco is it will not break because it's an American cheese sauce where it might break in a milk sauce. This is your time to add pepper. This is your time to add anything you can think of. I just wanna taste it for flavor now. Boom. Okay, and if you're trying to evaluate whether your recipe is going to be based on an American cheese sauce or a bechamel based sauce, like some of you may be thinking about, taste it now, taste what that sauce tastes like, and then taste it when it comes out of the smoker, because it's going to taste that flavorful, that salty, that perfect when it comes out of the smoker. And the problem with my bechamel is, of course, it didn't. Let's just pour it over the mac. 1 pound fills the aluminum pan perfectly. So shiny. Just give it a little wiggle because you want the sauce to get all up in the spirals. You want it to be on the outside and the inside. Yeah, I know it's enough, but I just feel like you can never have enough cheese sauce. Okay, don't mind the mac cam. So my add-ins today, I'm gonna put some barbecue rub on the top, and then I'm gonna smoke it for a while. Again, it's already cooked. Like, I want you guys to understand that's why we have to do it like this, because smoked mac is gonna be cooked twice. So I'm gonna cook it for a while to get some smoke flavor on it. Then before I serve it, I'm gonna come back and put 2 or 3 cups of shredded cheese on it. I've got maxi cheese, I think, in the refrigerator, but you could also do like smoked Gouda. You could do like a sharp cheddar, whatever you like. And you can also play with it and just figure out what you like. But first we're gonna smoke it, then we'll add that final delicious, gratin of cheese. So let's go throw it in the smoker. Woo! Boom. Let's go over here to the smoker. Okay, we're outside now. So I'm about to turn the smoker on. It makes a lot of noise, which is why I do this first. We're gonna smoke at 225 and we're gonna smoke for an hour and then see how we feel. I've just got the competition pellets in. The smoked mac and cheese doesn't pick up as much smoke as you're thinking it's going to. It's a bit like smoked queso where it's just fun to put it on the smoker. So don't go crazy thinking about like what wood is perfect. Whatever wood you're using for all the other things that you're cooking that day is going to be fine. So if the main dish is brisket and you're cooking with pecan or oak or anything like that, just throw the macaroni and cheese on. It's very forgiving. Okay, I just had to stop and clean my smoker because the rules of marriage are that one person will treat the smoker the way it's supposed to be treated and the other one will leave it dirty, and those people always get married. So make sure you clean your smoker, make sure nothing from your past smoke was in the smoker. Give it a good clean and start it up. It's getting smoky. Let's put it in. I'm fairly certain that my neighbors who do not know we are friends think I come out here and talk to myself. So we've been smoking for a while. We've got enough smoke on it. Let's go ahead and put some cheese over the top of the mac and cheese. Woo! And it hurts your eyes, but here we go. I'm just gonna sprinkle any shredded cheese on top. I've already told you that you can use smoked Gouda. You can get really creative. You can use like farm stand cheese. You can use something that speaks to you, like pepper jack. And you just want to put like 2 to 3 cups, okay? And you may even want to broil 1 round and then do it again, because I like a lot of cheese on top. Okay, there we go. Now let's go back in. So what I ended up doing was I broiled this under the broiler. It was so much faster. Even as I was putting it in the smoker, I was like, what am I doing? This doesn't feel right. So I broiled it under the broiler. Don't walk away, just be there for maybe 1 minute just to get that cheese nice and melty. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah. So, and we still have a really creamy sauce on the top. And now we can add some really cool toppings. The inside is going to be this beautiful saucy sauce, and you're going to see how gorgeous it is, how the pasta is going to pick up all the sauce, and you have the best of both worlds, which is the cheesy gooey top. Gives you an opportunity to introduce another cheese as well. Like I keep saying, I don't know who's trying to put rules on macaroni and cheese, but there shouldn't be any rules on macaroni and cheese. Let's put some toppings on it now. Okay, so we're gonna start off on mac and cheese with 2 big scoops of macaroni and cheese. Get all that delicious sauce. Now I'm gonna top it with some smoked brisket and a little bit of smoked sausage. Yes. Since I'm always Texas style around here, we're gonna do some green chilies and some pickled jalapenos. And then of course we're gonna top with a little bit of queso fresco, just because I always have it around, and some barbecue sauce and crema, just for that extra really hot looking touch. Oh my God. I know I've had 2 weeks of eating macaroni and cheese, trying to figure out what to do with it, but this is it, y'all. This is one for me. It may not be the one for you, but as far as smoked mac goes, I just feel like you gotta have something that's gonna stand up to that smoker and the heat all over again. If you want the recipe, it's below. If you want to see all my recipes, or you want a printable recipe, or you want step-by-step photos, or you want to join my email list where I send recipes out every week, go to urbancowgirllife.com. That's like my hub on the internet, and you'll be able to find all of the recipes there. It's fall again. We can be outside here in Dallas, so you can expect more barbecue recipes coming up the next couple of months. And of course, our big splash, as we always do Thanksgiving and Christmas around here, you know, out the wazoo. So I will be seeing more of you guys. I will be in the comments if you need any help. And if you need a printable recipe, come over to the blog. We'll see you next time. Bye.